guys, thank you so much for clicking this video. If you're new here, I'm Serena. Now, in today's video, I will be showing you guys how to create this look right here. So this is a night out routine, and when I think of a nighttime, I think of a very bold, very dramatic, only because it is nighttime, so you really do want your makeup to show, your makeup to pop. So in this video, I did do a very dark smoky eye, guys. I only used 3 shades. Yeah, using the James Charles Morphe palette, guys. This palette is amazing. Like, forget all the drama. It's amazing. This palette is amazing. So yeah, if you guys would like to see how I did this look, then please go ahead and keep on watching. Please go ahead and subscribe to my channel and press the notification bell so that you can get notified every time I upload a new video. Now let's go ahead and get started. For my eyebrows, I will be using the E.L.F pomade in medium, and the brush that I will be using is by Morphe. It's the M165. I like to draw the bottom line of my eyebrow like that, and then drawing the top line. Don't worry about making a mess, or oh my god, I put a little too much, oh my god, they're too thick, any of that. That's why we go in and clean up, so that your eyebrows do come out perfect. So now that we have the tail of the eyebrow already filled in, the rest of the product that I have on my brush, I'm just going to go in with a light hand and just softly making soft strokes like that, so you can already see. And then right here I'm going to go ahead and bring in the light and the dark together, so you will get that ombre effect. Now to clean up my brows, I will be going with the Glamoflaudge concealer in the shade medium and the E.L.F 16-hour concealer in the shade medium peach. And the brush that I will be using, that I always use, is the Luxie 245 small shader brush. So I already have my product on the brush, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and pat that in. I like starting right here at the beginning of my brow and working my way to the end of the brow. And the concealer that I'm using to clean up my brows, I will be using it as a base for my eyeshadow. So I'll just go ahead and be applying this all over. And then just with a beauty sponge or a brush, you can just go ahead and blend that out. Making sure that you are picking up most of that product. And the reason why I say that is because when doing your eyeshadow, you don't want a thick base, because a thick base will result in creasing. So the thinner your base, the more likely you will not crease up. So that's why I do try to pick up as much product as I can. Just blending that out. I do go a little bit in my brow because the concealer will help lighten that part right there. Now when I clean the top of my eyebrows, I do not use the concealer just because it is too light. So I wait till I get to my foundation part, and then that's when I go ahead and clean up the top of my brow. So for now, let me go ahead and do the other eyebrow. Let me go ahead and conceal, clean it up, and I will be right back. Eyebrows are done. Eyelids are concealed, primed, ready for the eyeshadow. Going in with the Morphe Jaclyn JH01, we're going to go in with the James Charles Morphe palette with that black eyeshadow, and we're just going to go ahead and pat that all over the lid. When doing my eyeshadow, I do love working my way up, so I go in with my darkest shade to the lightest shade. Only because I do feel like if I did do lightest to darkest, I just feel like the eyeshadow fades so much and you do have to go in quite a bit. So I just like going in like this. Now going in with the Morphe Jaclyn brush JH40, we're just going to go ahead and blend that out just a tiny bit. the same brush, we're going to go in with that burnt orange shade from the same palette. And we're just going to go ahead pat that in. Don't worry about getting it on the black. That's fine. You can always go back in. So now that we have that, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other eye. With the same brush, wiping off most of that product, we're just going to go ahead and blend that upwards just in circular motions. Now, I've always known that the closer your hand is to the tip of the brush, the more force you are putting onto your eyelid. So the further you are away, it helps to softly blend in, to softly apply, instead of being like this and you're just applying too much pressure when doing that. So that's why you just go ahead and pull your hand back a bit and then just go ahead and blend out. Now we're going to go in with our last shade, and that's the nude brown within the same palette. And we're going to be using the Morphe Jaclyn JH05 brush. And we're just going to go ahead and in circular motions apply this color. This is such a pretty color. Same thing to the other eye. So of course you can already see the black's faded, that burnt orange is faded. So what I'm going to do right now is go in, fix that up, apply more of that eyeshadow, and I'll be right back. I went over the shades a few times. I think I went over the shades about 2-3 times so you can really get that vibrant look. So you can see how I have that black, that burnt orange, and that nude right up here. Perfect, love it. So perfect for a night out. Now, when I do have a smoky eye like this, a lot of black on the eye, there's no need for adding a wing, eyeliner, none of that. So let me just go ahead and pop on some mascara, some eyelashes, and I'll be right back. I got my eyelashes on. Now, I did already clean under this eye because, guys, you can see how much fallout there is. There's so much. You get all that black right there, all that black right there. It's just really nasty. So this is why I like to do my eyeshadow before my face application, just because it's a mess. So with just a makeup wipe, I just like to go in and just clean all that up. Like, really clean that up. This is why I don't add my primer or my face oil, because I'm gonna take it off. Now that my face is clean, my under eyes are clean, all that fallout of the eyeshadow is now wiped off. I am now gonna go in with my Milani Prep+Brighten Rose Oil. I don't add too much, but I love this stuff. Smells good, feels so amazing on the skin. I do make sure I get that forehead. I just love an oil on the face. I do not recommend using this as an overnight oil. I only recommend to use this before applying your foundation, only because, guys, I tried that and I broke out and it was horrible. It was really, really horrible. So yeah, I don't recommend that. So now that we have our oil, you can see that. Now that we have our oil, we're going to go in with our Hourglass Veil Primer. It is oil free, so amazing. We're going to go in with just a pump. Even half a pump, like this is, that's too much. Like, it really is. You guys, you only need a little bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and wipe the rest of this off, because you really don't need that much of this primer. This primer is a bit expensive, so it's awesome that you don't have to use that much. It literally feels like velvet. Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like velvet. It feels so nice on the skin. It helps so much. Makes the makeup application, the foundation, just look so beautiful. To bring it down just a little bit. So just like that. Now for my foundation, I will be using the Hourglass foundation in the shade Warm Ivory and Light Beige. I do let this dry down a bit. I do let it get tacky just for a little bit. Just wait till it gets tacky. So I'm just going to go in with the Warm Ivory first. And we're just going to go ahead and apply this. Guys, I am not stingy when it comes to my foundation. I love a full coverage foundation, so I'm gonna apply as much as I want so that I can really get that full coverage. Now going in with the light beige. This one is a bit darker, so it's perfect for when I do have my self tan. Now going in with my Morphe Jaclyn JH03 brush, we're just gonna go ahead and buff that into the skin, blending it out. Don't forget to get that down the neck. Before I go ahead and blend out the foundation on my forehead, this is when I go in with the 245 Luxie brush. This is when I go ahead and clean up the top of my brow. So this foundation that I have up here, that's just what I use. I don't go and grab new foundation, more foundation. This is enough. And I just go ahead and clean them up. Just like that. We now have our foundation applied. So I love going in with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Stick Foundation. And this is what I love to use when I do my cream contour. I'm going to go in with the shade 868A Almond. And I'm just going to go ahead and put this in the spots where I will be bronzing and contouring my skin with the powders. So, I am also not stingy when doing this. I apply so much because, guys, I love a crazy contour. I want it to be seen. I really do. So the brush I'll be using to blend this out is the Luxie 512 small contouring brush. And I'm just going to be going in circular motions and just blending that out. When using two stick foundations on top of each other, guys, it is so beautifully, and it's just so amazing that I'm able to use a more affordable stick foundation on top of this really expensive foundation. So that's what I like also. I love how I'm able to use a really affordable foundation as a contour on top of a very expensive foundation. They mesh in so beautifully together. So beautifully. This is what guys, this is literally my face routine. Like, this isn't just like my night out routine. Like, I do this everywhere I go during the day. This face, oh, I'm obsessed. I am so obsessed. I don't even got words. Now, don't worry about it being too sharp, there being too much. I do go in with my foundation brush and I do help blend that out a bit. So right here on the chin, I love to see that right there bronzed up. Just looks like the sun came in, kissed you. Usually when I do this, I do not wear earrings because, guys, my earrings hit up against, and by the time I know it, like, my earrings are the same color as my foundation. So we're just gonna go ahead and blend this down right here. Go ahead and blend downwards. Now, going in with my foundation brush, this is where I like to go in and softly help clean that up. So you can already see how it's blurred out most of that. Oops. How it's blurred out most of that. Oh, I didn't even tell you guys what eyelashes I was using. I'm using the Lily Lashes and Fox Mink NYC. Oh, they're so heavy, but I love them. So sometimes I feel like, okay, let me just put a little bit more. I wish I had like a darker shade just to make that a little bit deeper, but it's okay. This foundation is really cheap. I want to say it is about $6. There's always a deal on Ulta. I know when I bought these foundations, I did get them buy one get one 50% off, so that was like an amazing deal. So just go ahead and keep checking Ulta. See when they'll have going in and diffusing that line. We're just diffusing that line, guys, okay? That's all we're doing is just diffusing that line. I personally don't like that super sharp contour line. I like it to look diffused. Now going in with concealer, we're going to use the E.L.F 16 Hour Camo Concealer in the shade Medium Peach. And I'm just going to go ahead and use my beauty sponge to blend this out. I do not like going in with too much. Not too much. Because this right here, guys, this really does brighten up your face. And for the summer, I don't like my face to look too brightened. I really like it to look dark, bronzed, glowy. So I'm really not a fan of concealing too much. I do need it though. But like I said, that brightness, I'm not a big fan of during the summer. So we are just gonna go ahead and blend this out. Making sure you're bringing it out all the way, because what this does is it gives that dimension. It gives that really pretty dimension to your face. I love it, but it's a little too white, so I like to just go in with that brush that I used to bronze and just go ahead and pat that up there a bit, just because, like I said, don't like it to be too bright. Okay, so we have our base on. Looking good, guys. Who doesn't love makeup? I am so obsessed with makeup. It's so amazing what makeup can do, how confident it can make you feel. I feel like a new. I feel so new right now, but I love it. So back to the video. We're gonna go ahead and make sure all those creases are out. Make sure all of that. We don't want any creasing when we do go ahead and set our face. Now that everything is set, we have all of our foundation, all that junk on. We're gonna go in with our Airspun loose powder in the shade Naturally Neutral, and we're just gonna go in with. Let me go ahead with this brush today. I'm gonna use this brush today. I don't know what the. This is what it looks like. It doesn't say. It just says R and L Moda. And how I'm going to do this is, we have some in our lid. Now when, I don't like to bake, I don't like to do any of that because it does brighten those under eyes. So we're just gonna go ahead and set in the foundation, set in all those powders. One thing I do have to say though, guys, is this powder is a mess. Do not wear the outfit you're planning on wearing because you will get powder all over it. I also don't like going in with too much because, you know, that cakey situation we don't want our face to look cakey. So with my under eyes, like I just did, just like to go in with a very little and just wipe on, wipe off. Don't like to set. I mean, we are setting. We don't like to bake. We're not baking. Not baking. Now that we have it all set and everything, the powder that I love to use to go ahead and bronze up the skin is a Milani face powder in the shade 08 Medium Deep. This stuff is amazing. Look at that color. It's very orange, but on the skin, it's so beautiful. It looks like the sun just, oh, guys, it's amazing. You guys have to go get it. You really do. I'm going to be going in with the Morphe Jaclyn JH02 brush. Look at that. So pretty. Guys, I'm obsessed. So you can already see the difference. Like, look at that. I love it. Going in with a little bit more. I'm not stingy at all. Okay, guys, this is that time where you go in. You go in. I even like going just a little bit over my face with it. Just a tiny bit. Just with whatever's left over. Going in with my Cover FX palette and going in with that contour shade right here. We're going to go in with a very small brush. This is the Morphe Jaclyn JH08 brush. I'm just going to go in with a very, very little bit. This stuff is very pigmented, guys, so be careful. And I like to just go ahead and make that a little bit more defined. A little bit more sharp right there. There you go. So you can already see that. Very little. You do not need a lot. You don't want to add too much because this color right here can look very muddy when adding a lot. And I also love going in with a little bit right under my bottom lip. because it does give me the appearance of my lip looking bigger. And then I'll go with a little bit just right up here. Not too much. And if you feel like it's too dark, go back in with that big brush and just, I'll blend that out. Now going in is my favorite blush. I love this blush. This is my favorite blush. This is the Butter Blush by Physicians Formula in the shade Vintage Rouge. Such a good blush. And we're gonna be going with the Morphe Jaclyn JH05 brush. This stuff is very pigmented also, so just be careful. Gorgeous. Very, very, very pigmented. So just be careful when applying it. And if you feel like you apply too much, just go in with that same brush that you used to set all over your face. And this will help soften it up. Just like that. Now to set my face, I love going in with the Gerard Cosmetics Mystified Hydrating Facial Mist. So let me just go ahead and spray my face real quick. Now, my face is very wet. You can tell it is very, very, very wet. This is when I love to go in with the end of my beauty sponge, beauty blender. And this is when I love to go in and pat in all that moisture. What this does is after you have applied all your powders, except highlight. I love to apply my highlight after, only because it helps melt into the skin better. But what I love to do, the reason why I'm doing this is because it helps all the powders melt into your skin. All that moisture, and when you're dabbing in all that moisture, it is gonna, guys, it's gonna help disappear all that cakiness, all that. It's amazing. This is a trick I cannot forget to do. My face is still a little damp, so this is when I like to go in with my highlighter. Today I will be using the Becca highlighter in the shade Opal. I will be using the Morphe Jaclyn JH30. And just applying this right where you would mainly highlight. Around the tip of the nose, down the bridge of the nose. Also love applying a bit right here. Now sometimes I feel like I do get some highlight in my eyebrows. So what I like to do is just go in with the spoolie and just softly, go ahead and take out any of that powdered highlight that has landed on my brow. I love doing highlight under my brow bone. So the shade I will be going in with is the same one. I'll be going with Opal. And just applying that right under the brow bone. Just applying that right under the brow. Just like that. Doing the same thing to the other eye. Now, so the exact same thing that I did to the top of my lid, I'm going to go ahead and do the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the light brown, and then the burnt orange, and then the black, and I'll be right back. So we have all of our eyeshadow already on applied. So now we're just going to go ahead and add a little bit of mascara to the bottom lashes. I'm obsessed with this mascara. This is the Revlon Ultra Volume with the pink lid. Guys, this stuff is amazing. I'm obsessed with this. This is definitely one of my top 3 favorite mascaras. So we're just going to go ahead and apply it where you normally would. Now, before we move on to our last and final step, which is our lips, I love to go in with a pop of shimmer, pop of highlight right in the inner corner of my eyes. So what I'll be using is the Becca highlighter, but this time I will be using the shade Pearl. It is very white looking, especially for the summer. You have that little pop of white right there, that pearl color, and it, guys, it's so beautiful. I'm obsessed. The same brush that I used to apply the highlight under my brow, it's the same brush it's the same brush I will be using to apply this. So we're just gonna go ahead and apply it right here. So my main point is right here, but I also love to drag it out a little bit. Drag it even up a little bit. But definitely down here. I love adding a little bit down. Okay, so just like that. Now for lips, I will be using 3 products. Now for the lip liner, I will be using the brand LA Colors, and this will be in the shade Natural. For the lipstick, I will be going in with the brand Maybelline, and the shade is 650 Nude Embrace. And for the gloss that I will be applying on top, I will be using the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit in the shade Caught You Bare Naked. So let me just go ahead and apply my lip liner real quick. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply my lip liner. Guys, these lip liners are only $1, and look. $1. Only $1. Now I will be going with that lipstick. Just applying that all over the lips. there are times when I just go out with just this lip because it is a matte. It does dry down a bit matte looking, but the texture of it is very, very creamy. It doesn't feel like a matte lipstick. Very creamy, but it does dry down pretty matte. But I love to add a gloss. Guys, it's summer. I love to look glowy, to look dewy, so I definitely love a gloss. These glosses for sure are under $5. And like I said, you guys can go on Ulta, and they do times where Wet n Wild, the whole brand, is buy one get one 50% off. So definitely amazing. Definitely something to look into. This is the final look. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. This is honestly something you could definitely wear night out, but even during the day, like if you just feel like doing that dramatic full glam look, this is definitely a look to go for. This is definitely a look to do. I highly recommend it, guys. It's amazing. It's a really, really amazing look. I'm obsessed. I mean, you can see that highlight. You can see that highlight right in there. If you guys really like this look and love the video, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And I will go ahead and see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.